Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on my video. And today I wanted to talk to you about scrapbooking on a budget because I'm kind of a beginner scrapbooker. I've been doing it for a few months now, and one thing that I've noticed, I don't know about everybody, but I think most scrapbookers are mostly women, not to be like, sexist or anything, but a lot of women really like to shop, and I've noticed that if you're not careful with this hobby, you can spend an arm and a leg. So today I wanted to cover just a few tips on how to scrapbook on a budget and make sure that you're not going crazy and spending so much more money than what you have. If you see me look over, it's because I have notes, because I'm that much of a dork that I need notes. But anyway, so the very first thing I wanted to tell you guys is, and I think this is the most important tip of all, is just to do your homework and shop around. There are so many places that you can find so many awesome scrapbook items that that you can get a sale anywhere, really. And you can always find it cheaper, like there are so many items that you can find cheaper somewhere else. So do your homework and shop around. I know, like for me, I have bought so many things, like even places that you wouldn't traditionally think are like scrapbooking places, like not so much Michael's or Joann or Hobby Lobby, but there are also places like the Dollar Tree where you can find some really good stuff, or even like a flea market or just a thrift store. There are all types of really cool things, and honestly, you can find some really cool stuff just around your house that you never think of, or cutting out something from a magazine or something like that. It's a lot of stuff that can save you money just by simply shopping around. And of course, you have an unlimited amount of places to shop online. So the only problem is sometimes you don't get all the sales if it's online. Sometimes, honestly, you get more sales online. So it kind of depends on where you go, and it's really important to do your homework. Second of all, don't compare your selection of supplies with anybody else's. I think a lot of people fall into this trap because there's like the internet and YouTube, and everybody shows these like really awesome craft rooms, and that's so cool. Like I watch those all the time because I like to see, kind of how other people organize their stuff and what other people have. And there are some people that have been doing crafting for a very, very long time, and they've accumulated a lot of things. There are also, I've noticed a lot of you guys out there on YouTube that actually work for these specific companies, and that's totally awesome. But if you don't work for one of those companies, you have to realize that some of the things that they get are for free, and or at discount prices and stuff like that. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're kind of comparing your collection. To me, I just had to not compare it at all and just kind of build up as time goes, because I haven't been scrapbooking very long, so I wouldn't want to compare my collection to somebody who's been scrapbooking for like 20 years and has had all of this awesome stuff. I mean, it takes time to accumulate that, so don't compare yourself to other people. Also, very, very important is to be organized. Some of you ladies on here, oh my gosh, you guys are brilliant when it comes to organization. And in this hobby, it truly is key because there's so many different products out there, and so many different, just paper in general. How many different types of patterns and colors can you get on all these different papers? So being organized and knowing what you have, gotta cross my legs, is just really, really important when it comes to purchasing things, because if you're organized, you know what you have, you know what you're going to use, you're not buying duplicates, you're not buying things that you don't need. So very important to stay organized. Put yourself on a budget for a particular craft. This is kind of difficult for some people because there are things that you want to add later that you think, oh my gosh, that's a really cool idea, or I saw this new technique and I want to add it in. But try, like currently right now I'm working on a wedding scrapbook for a friend's wedding, and I kind of wrote out my theme and everything, and I purchased things for that specific project. I put myself on a budget for it so that I, wasn't spending crazy amounts of stuff. So that's really important. And then also that kind of goes with that is before you go to the store, if you're kind of in that mood where you want to just buy some crafts or buy some like supplies and stuff, it's really important to have a craft in mind and then to go to the store with an actual shopping list. Because for me, I know, and I've noticed that I get to like Michael's or Joann's and stuff and see all of this amazing stuff, and then just like my eyes bug out of my head and I just want to purchase everything. And I think, oh, I'll use this for this, and I can use this later on, and that's too cute, and I don't know what I'm going to use it on, but like that will make you spend so much more. So, and you end up coming home with these huge hauls of all this awesome stuff, but you might not touch any of that stuff for a really long time. You might only use certain things. So really try and know what you're shopping for when you go to the store instead of buying just whatever looks cool on the shelves, because you might not even get what you need. You might come home and realize, oh shoot, I need to go to the store again, and then it's a problem all over again. So be careful with that. Don't waste. I mean, that's I think a lot. I think pretty obvious, and I think most people that are scrapbookers don't really waste all that much. I can't even tell you how many like scraps of paper I have like this that are I used it for a couple different projects, this particular paper, and I love this paper. It's actually kind of expensive. So, and I'm sure I can use that for something else. The only problem with that is that if you kind of hoard scrapbooking things, it's kind of important to put a limit on how small the scraps are that you're keeping. This could legitimately be used in a project, but if it were like, only this much or something, and I was keeping it around, that would be a problem. So, just use your best judgment and try not to waste as much as you can, use what you have to the best of your ability. That kind of goes in the same kind of thing. Sometimes you might have to be creative and kind of think out of the box and see what you can do with your craft items. There's a lot of things that have multiple purposes. And, if you can do that, if you can get another thing out of that one item, then that's really good, if that makes any sense. That wasn't said, whatever. Anyway, so keep in mind the craft when you buy, kind of address that again. Buy on sale. There's really no reason to buy full price for to pay full price for anything. Between all the different stores, unless it's like brand new on the market or something, most places, if you shop around, they're going to have a sale of something that you're looking for. So that kind of ties in with just doing your homework and kind of shopping around, but buy things on sale. It's just common sense. And then also keep a record of how much you're spending. This shocked me because I looked at how much money I had spent like in this past, I don't know, couple months, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be very careful in how I'm budgeting myself and not just going to the store 100 billion times and picking up all this random stuff, because every time you go out, if you buy a couple things, that really adds up. So be really careful about that and just keep a record of how much you're spending and how much you need to spend. And that'll kind of keep you on target. I don't think I have any more tips unless I just didn't scroll down enough. Yep, that's pretty much it. So I hope I hope you guys kind of see those as some kind of cool tips to keep your scrapbooking budget decent instead of extraordinary, because it can be a very expensive hobby if you're not watching what you're doing, specifically because you buy a pack of like stickers or something and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a great price on them because they're only, $2 or $1.50. But if you buy 50 of them plus your paper plus your all these awesome tools and paints and stamps and dyes and all sorts of different products, even if they're small amounts of money, $3.99, $2.99, $2.45, all that stuff really does add up. So it doesn't feel like it when you're buying it, but then if you look back, you see, oh my gosh, I spent $3.99 50 billion times on a couple different items. So just be mindful of what you're spending. So anyway, I hope you take some of these tips and can apply them, and hopefully you can do a hobby that you love, which is scrapbooking or crafting, but you're not breaking the bank doing it. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and please let me know if you have any comments or anything that you would like to for me to address, any topics that you'd like, or if you have any advice for me, please let me know. So thanks so much. Bye.